Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Butterscotch Rewatch. I am Katie, the Gen X mom, and with me is...
Ireland, the Gen Z daughter.
And today we are going to be discussing the movie Harry and the Hendersons from 1987. But Ireland, before I get into that, till we get into that movie, I have a beef. I got a beef
You
with
always have a
something.
beef.
I have
She's
a
always
beef.
got a beef.
Katie has a beef. So this is just a random beef because this is the way my brain works. It's just random stuff, just flies out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So you know how your dad and I like on weekends, dad makes breakfast
hmm
and he like makes like a smorgasbord.
Yeah.
And
And he's
he'll turn
still
on
like
music.
135 pounds.
Yeah, but he's only making it for himself. So it's not like
Yeah.
he's like making us breakfast. I'm just like, I'll take a coffee. This is great. I'll make my
Yeah.
mocha coffee.
I'm the same way though. I don't really like to eat a lot of breakfast.
And so he always puts on music. He'll put like yacht rock on, classic
hmm
rock,
Lots of Michael McDonald being played.
grunge, 90s pop, 80s pop, just random. He'll just do like random
hmm
lists on
Whatever you're
Spotify.
feeling for the day.
So the other day I'm listening and Color Me Bad comes on. Now, if anybody knows Color Me Bad, you remember it's the like George Michael ripoff, the Kenny G
hmm
ripoff, and like there's like two other guys.
Yeah.
They were ridiculous and we all know their songs. So don't even lie and say you
Unfortunately,
don't know. I'm not
you
saying
know them.
that. It's just
Even
one
if
of those
you've
I think.
never, there's people that
Yeah.
probably never even heard the band name, but they know the song. They're like, who? Derek
Yeah.
Huff? Who?
And you know like how when you were younger you listened to songs and you would sing the words and then you get older and you're like, "Oh, that means
Yeah.
completely something different." Okay, well
Yeah.
I had no problem with I guess I never really listened to the lyrics, but I know the lyrics and it's the I want to sex you up, okay?
Yeah. Shocking.
And it's one of those like tick tock, get off, stop. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is so bad. It's so bad. It is so
And
bad,
it's like kind
okay?
of embarrassing, but it's still a vibe.
Yes. And it was embarrassing. Like you're watching it, and you're like, I have secondhand embarrassment, but you knew the song
Yeah.
because it was always on the radio. Okay,
hmm
so I'm listening to the lyrics and I'm like, that makes wait, what? That makes no sense. Okay, so let me just give you like a couple lyrics. So of
Okay.
course it's like I wanna sex you up, come inside, take off your
Yeah.
coat. Okay, that's
You're
normal.
right.
I'll
You're
make you feel
right.
at home. Okay, great. So he's like, "Girl, you make me feel so good. We can do it till we both wake up." Now, are you sleeping while you're having
So,
sex? Is your
so is
sex
is
so
it so
boring?
bad that she fell asleep?
Yes. Is your
I
sex
need to.
so bad that
Oh
she's fallen
no.
asleep?
Yeah, that's
Because
bad.
one of the lyrics he says is just lay there and enjoy the ride while she's sleeping,
Ew.
apparently.
Ew. Wait, that's kind of creepy.
Okay,
Imagine,
so
imagine
I'm
he's not having any game at all, where he's just happy that she's just like,
so we're gonna do it in our sleep because we're
ew.
sleeping. So we're gonna dream about having sex?
Yeah, like I would get it if it said like till the sun comes up, not till we wake
Yeah.
up. Like that makes
Yeah.
sense, but like not the we wake up.
Okay. So
Girl,
all right, fine.
that's
Okay.
crazy.
Girl, I'm hooked on you. And this is
Mhm.
what I'll do. Okay. And then he's like, I want to sex you
Okay.
up. Okay.
Yeah, great.
Still okay, then more lyrics. Let me take off all your clothes. Cool. Disconnect the phone so nobody knows. Who's
Was
gonna
he
know?
recording it before?
So if you disconnect the phone, now we're talking old school phone. Hello with the
Yeah,
cord,
yeah.
not like your cell
Was he
phone.
gonna set it as his voicemail? Like I didn't. What?
Are you gonna put the cassette tape in your record, like in your
Yeah.
answering machine,
You
or
just hear like the fax machine in the background, like the.
yeah, the
Yeah.
and okay, so when you would unplug you would
Um,
just there's nothing. There's like I think you get a busy signal. So if you're disconnecting phones so nobody knows and it's constantly busy, people know
yeah, but
it's
also,
busy.
why would you answer the phone? Just
Right.
don't answer the
Don't answer the
phone and no one
phone.
will know.
There's no like this is the early 90s. There's no like tracking of phones like I know you were at her house.
Yeah. Right, right.
you
No,
know?
but here's the problem is that I guarantee you every single boy in this group probably listens to this song while they're doing that. And then they want everybody to know, so they probably had the phone up and they're recording it for their voicemail or
Yes.
something.
Yeah, when they were listening to this
those
in the
lyrics are
90s.
creepy.
Okay, there's more.
Of course.
There's a couple more that I could only go through like 2 bars of it. Okay, so we're disconnecting phones so nobody knows because, okay.
Because everybody already knew, apparently. Okay, go crazy.
Let me light a candle so we can make it better. Bitch, I only get 1 candle.
Does he smell? he needs to light like his black cherry Merlot candle from Bath and Body Works. Well,
Why
at that
is there
time
only
it was
one
probably
candle?
cucumber melon. You finally had the cucumber melon sent back, so he was probably lighting that thing.
Why is there only 1 candle? And you know it's like a dirty ass candle that's like almost
Yeah.
gone
Yeah.
and it's like a tea light
Yeah.
and
It's
it's
not
like
a 3-wick. Yeah.
that
He actually just got the little tea light with the turn it on and off switch underneath it.
Okay, so he lights 1 candle. Okay,
Does
great.
his house stink? Throw away the food that's in your room, you weirdo.
Well, or do multiple candles, like do like the 3 on the one thing and the 3 on the other,
Yeah.
like where it's romantic. Because I get the candle
Yeah.
thing, that's cool. 1 candle, bitch. You get 1 candle. Okay, cool. Thank you,
He's
sir.
he's got one
Thank you.
candle per lady.
Well, she's already asleep, so
That's true.
she's already bored to death as it
The
is.
cucumber melon put her to sleep already. I would be bored to death too. Oh
I'm
God.
talking so loud, I gotta move my thing away.
So
It's like,
bad.
warning, you're too loud. Okay,
Warning, stop
it
screaming
ends.
about color me bad.
Yes, it's like, color me bad is so bad. So let me light a candle so we can make it better. Making love until we drown. Dig.
Ooh,
Dig is the end of that. Dig. Making love until we
dig.
drown.
You dig?
I
Not
don't
you
know what
dig.
you're drowning
Dig.
in. I don't want to know.
Ew.
You might want to
I
get that
think he's
checked.
just greasy and smelly if that's what's happening. He has to light a candle and all that. Okay. I'm looking at the picture that you sent me because you brought up the Kenny G and the George Michael,
I
and the
did.
other 2 were Rick James and Vanilla Ice.
That's it. That's it. Yes. It was like the
But
oddest pairing.
the picture is outstanding in this group.
It
Like,
is.
it's so
Mhm.
funny.
They just were like, let's take who's cool now and just get generic people of them. It's like the Temu
Yeah.
version of each of these
It
people.
really is. And why in this photo, because you know this is like their stock photo, why
Hmm.
is the Vanilla Ice lookalike wearing overalls?
They just love
Was
their
that a thing in
overalls.
the early 90s, or is that just
So people did wear overalls. They would undo the one thing.
No, he's wearing both.
Okay.
He looks like
Well,
he's
you
about to
didn't do
harvest
one.
some cranberries from like the ocean for the Ocean Spray Company.
Spray.
Like
Yeah,
he's
with all
got
the
like
wolf spiders.
yes.
Yeah.
Ew,
So
I
that was the
cannot
thing.
watch this. And he's wearing a bolo tie.
Eh.
I'm also looking, and for the people that are listening and they actually like know what we're talking about, please look up "Color Me Bad" with 2 D's at the end. And the George Michael lookalike is literally wearing like a members only jacket. Like I
Mm.
don't know what that is. It
What are you,
always
the only
reminds me of
member?
"What are you, the only member?"
Remember? That's what I just said.
Oh, it's so good.
So that's my beef. I mean, the fact that he's like, let me light a candle so we can make it better, making love until we drown, and then he goes, dig.
Like, but that's like something like you know that he lives in his mom's basement, and there's nothing wrong with living in your mom's basement,
Mm-mm.
but that's a lot.
I don't know the person that wrote this. I don't know
I
what they
don't
were
want to know.
thinking. I'm sure, maybe it means other things and people are like, it means this. But I'm a person that takes things literal. I will literally, like, to me, I can imagine we can do it till we both wake up, them both sleeping and like dreaming in their dreams that they're having sex together, but they're really not because they fell asleep. And it was so boring because they had only 1 candle lit and they drowned apparently, so maybe they're dead. I don't fucking know. I don't
Oh,
get. That's my
you know
beef.
what? And that's probably the reason this song didn't win a Grammy. So
This is my beef. This is my beef with Color Me Bad with 2 Ds.
honestly, the beef is warranted because those are some not only like creepy lyrics,
Yes,
but yeah, they
right?
don't really make a lot of sense. So
Okay.
it's fine.
After Katie's 15-minute rant about Color Me Bad, I want to sex you up. Let's get into.
Let's get
Let's
into
get into
Harry and the
Harry and the
Hendersons.
Hendersons. Yes, yes, yes,
Well, I'm
yes.
not gonna lie, I haven't seen this movie in at least like 8 years, probably, until I just rewatched it when we went
Yeah.
over it, and I just forget how cute it is,
Hmm.
and I love it. It's just so
Yes.
like lighthearted and cute.
All right, so Harry and the Hendersons. 1987, this was made. It stars John Lithgow as George Henderson. I don't think I should have to say who that is. You should all know who that is, whether you're a Dexter fan, Third Rock from the Sun fan.
No, Daddy's home too? Come
Yeah.
on. He
Oh,
plays
yeah, Daddy's.
Carol's dad. So if like you're my generation, that's probably what you know him from. But Third
Yes.
Rock from the Sun is phenomenal if you like Joseph Gordon-Levitt too. Like so the
Yeah.
people should watch that.
Melinda Dillon is the mom. She's Nancy Henderson. Now, if you would like to know who she is the mom from The Christmas Story.
Hmm.
Ralphie, you'll shoot your eye out. That is what she's from. She's from other things, tons of other things, but
That's like
I
what
feel
she's
like everybody's
known
seen
for.
A Christmas Story. So,
Yeah, and if
yeah.
you haven't, go on, what is it, like ABC or whatever, and they play it for
It's
24
24/7.
hours on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Kevin Peter Hall plays Harry. Um,
Okay, that's
okay,
cool.
but love Don Amici. He plays Dr. Wallace Wrightwood. Kazan, she plays Irene, the nosy neighbor. She's from
I
My
like
Big
her.
Fat Greek Wedding. She's one of
Yeah,
like,
that made
yeah,
sense to me.
yeah, she's great. Who else? That's it. I'm not gonna name the kids because,
They don't really have like huge, like, I
yeah,
don't know. They would not have been in anything yet, if they
right.
actually
Yeah,
had
there
like.
wasn't that. I mean, I'm sure they were in things. The Ernie was in something, and I forgot what it was, but it was when he was older.
It's okay.
But anyways, for the sake of this, John Lithgow's all you really need to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
arcane.
Um, so okay, so let's start off. Let's meet the Hendersons. So we've got George as the father. He likes to hunt and camp. Ernie is the nerdy little son with the big, huge plastic glasses that don't fit his face, and he's always like this, and they're always falling down his nose. And he tries to be all like tough and impress his dad. Like he's like, "Yeah, you killed it, awesome, kill it, Dad, kill it. Oh, let's shoot it.
Yeah,
Everything shoot."
it was borderline sociopathic in the beginning of
Yeah,
the movie.
I'm like,
I was a little
okay,
alarmed. I was like, and you
mm-hmm,
gave that kid a BB gun? Like, okay.
yeah. And Sarah is the teenage daughter. She has no desire to camp or hunt. Same girl. You can
Yeah,
take your
same. Not
camping and
even a
you can shove it up
glamper.
your ass because you will never catch me camping on
Never.
purpose.
I will also never hunt. Like, I understand why
Mm-mm.
people do it, but it's never been a thing that I've ever wanted to do in my life.
All right, so after Sarah, we got Nancy's the mom. She just goes along with, she's your typical 80s mom. She just does
Yeah.
whatever. Like, she just goes along with everything. She's in charge of taking care of everybody. Everything is her, it's always on her. So she's just like, okay, whatever you want to do, George, okay.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Um, so the family is camping, and Ernie and George bring back a bunny, and that Ernie has killed. Ernie's so excited, and Sarah's like, "Oh, that's gross. I'm not eating that." Same. I
Yeah,
would not
same
eat
girl.
that. That's
Same.
freaking nasty. Poor
Yeah,
bunny.
and
They
he's
just.
like dangling it around. I think it's his first kill ever, so like he's like
Mhm.
flaunting it. I'm like, okay, buddy.
Yeah. He's like so proud. He's like, "Yeah, killed it. Let's kill it. Everything's killed." This kid in this like first 10 minutes of the movie, I want to throw off a cliff. He is so annoying. He gets
Yeah,
better.
yeah, he definitely does get better, but I think it's just like, I don't know, he's just like so sociopathic. He just wants to kill
Yes.
everything. It's really scary. But I
Yeah.
know like he's like, trying to impress his dad because he's old enough now to go hunting with his dad, but it's just like
Mhm.
chill. Like it's okay. You don't have to be that excited to kill something.
Yeah. And I
Scary.
literally have in my
I've
notes.
watched too many murder documentaries for this.
I know, right? Ernie is literally the most annoying character ever in the next few scenes. That's what I put in my notes.
That's in the notes.
It's in the literal notes.
Underlined.
He has something annoying to say about everything, which he does. He's like, "Pull over, Dad. She's gonna launch." Because the sister's like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw up." Like there's like the smell of the fish from the cooler.
Yeah.
Ernie keeps opening it up. It's yeah, and it's like
Also, why is
gross.
he opening the cooler? Ew.
I don't know. Like, dude, what is your problem? Um, and he's like, he's like, "Do you think I can get a pair of real baseball cleats, Dad?" And he's like, "You bet." And he's like, "Great, I'm gonna spike Frankie McDowell. He spiked me twice."
Yeah, just for that kid to play left bench, be so for
Yeah.
real. Like he's not starting on that baseball team.
You can't like go back days later. You have to do it then.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like I mean,
Like
says you who holds a grudge like nobody's business.
forever. Forever. Cue the cue
Oh
the
my God.
forever meme. Forever.
Forever.
Forever. We lived in that movie.
Anyways, so after all of this nonsense, they are just on their way home. They're driving in the car, and George is driving pretty fast. We have not seen a single other car or soul like anywhere.
Mhm.
So he's driving fast. He's been hunting for a very, very long time. He knows these roads like the back of his hand. And of course, the topic of discussion in the car between Ernie and the dad is that they just keep talking about guns. They keep talking about rifles because they just had this hunting experience for the first time together. And Nancy, this is like, I do like when Nancy speaks up because she is like the voice of reason in the family.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like the men are just so like, masculine men, like they're trying to be like the hunters, and like they're always like, yeah, let's kill this thing, or oh, like let's and she does like put in her 2 cents a lot, and she is obviously objecting to this. She also did not want Ernie to have a gun. Don't blame her, because Ernie's like what, like
Mhm.
9
Yeah.
8 or 9,
Oh
like
yeah.
he's a young kid. And George is driving, and he's like got the sun blaring in his eyes, and Nancy, of course, is like, "Oh, honey, do you want your sunglasses?" And just like a man, he's like, "No, no, no, I'm good, I'm good." And as soon as Nancy said something, George is like, "No, thanks." And then he has a big thud, and he hits something, and we have no idea what he hit. We just see like this giant being that just got hit. So, of course, George's first thing is he's going to pull over and check it out.
Yeah. Because he's like, "Oh my God, I thought it was a person." And then he looks and he notices it has fur. So he's like, "Okay, I
Mhm.
didn't hit a person, thank God." But he's like, "Okay, I'm going to go check it out." And of course, he has to bring like a gun. And I think Ernie has a gun too. So George is thinking it's dead. He has his gun though. So he gets his rifle. And then of course Ernie shouts, "Shoot it!" Before
Yeah,
even
right
knowing what
though.
it is.
Relax.
Is it hurt? Is it dead? What is the situation here? And I put, why would anyone give this kid a gun? George,
No, literally my
seriously,
thoughts exactly.
death is forever. He wants everything dead. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
scary.
Um, George realizes that it's a Bigfoot. He yells for Nancy. He's like, "Nancy, you got to see this. Let's bring the family to check it out."
The whole family.
Convinced it's dead, he puts it on top of the car under the tarp, under the tarp.
Yeah.
But in order to get it on the car, they do like a pulley system where they put his feet, and then it's like, and then she like moves the car up, and as she's moving the car up, it pulls him on top of the
Yeah, it's
car.
actually pretty smart because he's
Hmm.
just way too heavy. Like none of them would be able to lift him, especially because he's like dead weight at this point because he's
Yeah.
like obviously knocked out or what they
Hmm.
think dead right now. So pretty smart.
Yeah. Nancy, of course, feels. I would be Nancy. I'd be like, "Oh my God, this poor thing.
Yeah.
What if it's the only one? What if we took it from its family?"
Yeah,
God, it's
seriously.
same girl. Um, and of course, George is thinking, "Moolah, money. Oh, cha-ching, cha-ching. Guess what we can get money for this."
Hmm.
Well, they're driving. As they're driving, they're talking about this, the money and everything like that. Well, something, something they didn't anticipate, Ireland. What did they not anticipate?
Yeah, so, they're just happily driving again, and then all of a sudden, the Bigfoot is just like facing them inside of because he's on the outside of the windshield or whatever, makes eye contact with them, like slams his hand on the freaking windshield and the dashboard and everything, and he like does like a big roar. He like screams at them basically because he's like, "Oh my God, you literally tied me up and now I'm just like on top of your car, you
Under
freaking
a
crazy."
tarp.
Yes, and I'm under a tarp. Like, I'm not taking a nap here. And then, of course, George's first reaction is to brake. So then when he brakes, then the Bigfoot flies off the car. And now they really think that he's dead because they're like, there's no way in hell he gets hit by a car and now flies off a car and he's still alive.
Mhm.
And George, because he's a manly man, knows when things are dead, apparently, because he's a doctor, I guess. And he like I don't know if he took his pulse. Like I couldn't remember, but I think he just looked at him and like touched him and then he didn't move. So then he's like,
Did like
"Oh,
like that,
yeah."
and it didn't
And like
move.
waited
So
for him to move back.
okay.
But he's like, "No, he has to be dead this time, like for this, I'm sure." And
Mhm.
then we cut to this creepy ass guy in this scene. Who do we see?
So we're gonna get this is Jacques Lafleur. Jacques Lafleur. He hunts Bigfoot. I mean, he's just
Dedicated his life.
he hunts big creatures as well. Like big he like shot like the biggest bear ever, and it's it's on display. He
Mhm.
shot, he just loves to kill things. So I think he's Ernie grown up, and
Right.
he's
Who
been
Ernie
searching
wants
for
to be.
Bigfoot. So he's like in the he's in the forest, and he's like hunting it, and he finds some hairs. And then he like smells the hairs because Bigfoot
Hey, he finds like the
smells.
Bigfoot butt fuzz and he picks
Yeah,
it
and
up.
he's like, ooh. First he sees like his poop, and he like squats over the poop, and he's like, yes. And I was like, okay.
Ew.
And then he finds like a clunk, like a chunk of hair, and he like smells it. And then he goes, and he
When I saw that, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, there's no effing way that he just did that. Ew.
now I'm gonna barf. Oh my God,
Yeah,
gross.
disgusting.
But he does end up finding the Hendersons their license plate because when they hit Bigfoot the first
He got
time, it
knocked
took
off.
yeah. So he does find that. That's what. Thank God that scene's over. So
Yeah, I know. I was like, wow, this is a lot. This has to be a gag. And it wasn't.
mhm.
It was like they wanted him to look like he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah,
So he was taste testing that butt fuzz.
gross.
But now we cut back to the family getting into their house now, and they bring the Bigfoot inside their house because they want to hide it from everybody and whatever. And they still think it's dead, so there's no harm in that, right? I don't know where they
Mhm.
put him. Like, I
In the
don't know if they,
garage.
yeah, that's what I thought. I was
He's
like, either
still
the
on
garage
top
or
of the
the
car in
basement.
the garage, and they have a
Yeah,
detached
okay.
garage. Hmm.
Right. So, of course, after you had just hit a Bigfoot, you're not able to sleep. So, this guy was not able to sleep, and he gets out of bed and he just wants to make sure that Bigfoot's still there. He wants to know how big it is because he wants all the proper dimensions for when he basically sells his story and like sells this guy off. Because remember, in his eyes, he's just looking at the money bags. Like, he is like, cha-ching, this thing is going to retire us both, basically. And he goes in the garage, and there's nothing there. So man is not dead. So he's like walking around and he hears all these noises, and these noises are coming from the kitchen. And the Bigfoot is literally raiding their fridge.
But he's turned it over. So
Yeah, the
it's
fridge is literally like knocked over on its side, and like the cabinets are like ripped off the thing. Like the kitchen is almost destroyed.
Mhm. Yep. And then George obviously comes in, sees him eating, and he roars at George,
Mhm.
who just cowers on the floor. Same.
Yeah,
I would try to
what are
run,
you
I
gonna
think.
do? That thing
Yeah.
is literally like 20 or 15 feet tall and huge.
Yeah. Because he knows George is the one that hit him. So he's angry about that. Just a little, little
Just a
salty,
little.
a little bit. He goes after George, and, and then Ernie comes in. And of course, Ernie's not scared. He's like, oh, wow. And then Nancy comes in, followed by Sarah, who they like come in, and Sarah's like, oh, the smell. That's all that would be me.
So
I'm
it just
like,
reminds me of Labyrinth when he's like, smell
smell
bad.
bad.
Like it just.
Ah, great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Bigfoot, he doesn't seem mad at anyone else but George, which is a good thing. Um, so George tells Nancy to get his rifle because, of course, guns will solve every problem. Yeah,
Of
we're doing
course.
great with that. But she grabs air freshener and she sprays it. She goes, "Tss." And he's like, and then she sprays a little further.
I
"Tss."
like
And he's
that.
like, and he like follows. It's really cute because he like follows the scent, and all it was just air
Mhm.
freshener, and he just follows the scent of the air freshener. Which, good on you, Nancy. Nancy's got all the
Yeah.
answers.
Women are just so smart.
Um,
She's really thinking on her toes.
yeah, and that allows them to get out of the kitchen away.
Hmm.
Um, but then Sarah, the daughter, runs back in, and she's like, "Not my corsage that's been in the fridge for 6 months."
That corsage would not have stayed like that. Am I
No,
wrong?
as a florist.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have the credentials, so this is why I ask you. But there is no way in hell, even if it was refrigerated, that it would hold like that. And it was an orchid, no?
Uh, yeah, I there are ways to preserve it, like
Mm-hmm.
but they just putting it in the box that it came in and putting it in a fridge will
Yeah, a
not
cut flower like that?
will
No way.
that particular type of orchid is it's a very floppy. I don't even know if that was an orchid. Um, it's too it would not have held up. It would have been brown and just
Yeah,
gross. Yeah, it would
encrusted.
have been it probably would have been moldy. But
Mm.
anyways, it's in perfect condition and gorgeous. And she opens. She's like, "It's my 15th birthday corsage,"
Which
and
never heard of that, but go
yeah,
crazy, Sarah.
yeah, not like, "Oh my God, that was my first homecoming dance corsage."
Right.
Okay, I get
No, her
that. I
15th birthday. Good Lord.
Yeah. And so she opens it, and Harry's like, "Yoink," and he puts it in his mouth and starts eating it. And she's like, "Oh, you!" And it doesn't taste good. So he goes, "Bleh." And he spits it.
That was perfect.
He's not into corsages whatsoever. They taste
No, he
like
did not
ass to
like that
him.
taste.
He's not happy about that. Um,
But he is no match for a teenage girl because
yeah.
Sarah is livid. She just starts ripping into him, yelling at him like, "How dare you eat my corsage? You didn't even enjoy it. You didn't even eat it, blah blah blah, whatever." And like this is when we see him get a little bit more humanized because honestly, I think he's a little scared of Sarah. And like he
Yeah.
kind of like is embarrassed. Like you can definitely tell the like expressions on his face. And then of course, in true teenage girl fashion, because no one is a match for a teenage girl, she screams because she is so
She's
pissed
like,
off that her
"Ah!"
course, yeah, like she screams in anger. And then he roars back at her. The Bigfoot roars back at her. And then this is like when George is like, "Oh, I think my family is still at risk." So they all grab each other and then they run outside of the house.
He like literally grabs Sarah like she's like a bag of flour and just like
No,
drags her up,
literally.
runs off with her. Yeah. But I do want to say that the the Bigfoot character, like you said, the expressions that come from this character, like you could
Mhm.
actually see just from his eyes and his eyebrows and the way he moved that he was just like, "Oh no, I'm in
Yeah.
trouble." Like, "Oh, oh,
Yeah,
like
like you can
yeah,
definitely tell he's like, "Oh, like I did something wrong. Like I
yeah."
shouldn't have done that." Like it was definitely a change because we haven't even seen him awake this whole time.
Right. Yeah,
So,
so there's definitely something going on up there, and that's, I mean, you can really see, the way that they did the makeup and the actor underneath it and whatever they did to make his face, I think it's just all makeup. I didn't see anything otherwise, any kind of like animatronic or anything like that.
yeah, no.
Um, but maybe there is. But just the way his eyes and his expressions are so humanized that you can literally what he's thinking and what he's feeling, and I think that's awesome.
Mhm.
It's not just like a like
Yeah.
a
That
robot kind
takes
of
a
thing.
lot. Like that's how you
Hmm.
know that you're doing a good job, you know.
So the family's outside finally. They're just watching Bigfoot destroying the house and eating plants, and he spots on the wall a deer head, and he looks and he's like, "Oh." And then he's like, "It's not moving," so he's kind of like, "What the hell?" So he looks on the other side of the wall, and there's no deer there.
Mm.
So he punches through the wall, and there's no rest of the deer. And he's so mad because he knows that this is just a trophy. It's not like it's dead. And he's
Mhm.
very upset about that. Like, and he like roars. He's super, super upset. And he like makes his way upstairs and he kind of like stomps even more. And the stairs are just crushed. Everything he goes
Yeah,
through is
he's just
crushed.
so heavy.
Like all the doorways, he pushes them up, to fit through them. I mean, and they're beautiful. This house is beautiful and has beautiful wooden stairs that are finished gorgeous. Like, it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage in less than
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah, it literally
Uh,
looks like a tornado and a what's it called? The ones where it shakes, the earthquake also went through
yeah,
it at the same time. Like it looks like a hot mess in there.
yeah. So as he goes upstairs, George grabs his gun and climbs up a ladder so that he can go. He's like in George's. I think it's a studio. I think it's George's studio. George likes to draw, and he goes up, and it's kind of like a little landing area, and he's gonna shoot Bigfoot, and he finally has him like in the like scope, and his face, Bigfoot's face, is so like human and
Hmm.
like, okay, I guess if you're gonna shoot me, go ahead if that's what you want. It's not like anger. It's just like, why do you want to shoot me? Like,
Hmm.
okay. And he can't do it, thank God. Um,
Yeah,
George
this
can't
is
shoot
when,
him. It's,
yeah, this is
yeah.
when he sees how humanized he is, and he's like,
Mhm.
oh, because I don't think George has ever really cared about a creature. Like they have a dog, but like I mean, like a hunted creature kind of thing. So this was fun to
Mhm.
see.
Yeah. And as George was up there, not George, Harry was up there, who is the Bigfoot. Well, surprise, that's his name.
Oh my God,
Uh,
Harry and the
Harry and the
Hendersons are
Hendersons, I just
awesome.
gave it away. Oh, so bad at this.
And the
Um,
end.
he found a mink stole that like in the 1920s they would wear. It was like literally
Mm,
just a mink's body. It's got the feet and the head and everything, and they would wear it around them. And he's petting it. He
yeah.
knows it's, because again, it's dead. And so George climbs down. Bigfoot jumps into the backyard and proceeds to bury the mink stole and gives Nancy a dirty look. And she's like, don't you look at me like that. That was my grandmother's mink stole. I'm not the one that killed it. She's like, uh-uh.
I love the attitude. I love the attitude that these two women give.
Don't you dare. Do not. That was my grandma's.
Uh,
Don't you dare. Which I thought was great. She's like, not
yeah,
today,
don't pass
Bob.
judgment
Not
on me.
today.
Mm-mm.
Uh, so George, as he's doing this, George runs into the house and grabs all the animals that are on his wall. He's tons of them, and he's like everything, like whether they're stuffed or on the wall. He throws them all in this one closet, and just they barely fit in there, and he closes it because he doesn't want to piss him off even more.
Yeah.
And then Bigfoot comes back inside, and George calls the cops. And he's like, "Well, there's a Bigfoot in my house." Of course the cops are like, "Mm-hmm." And they laugh at him, and the other guy, you can see the other detectives like on the phone just laughing, listening in. And so he tells them that they have to come there because there's a Bigfoot, and like, I don't know what to do. He's a Bigfoot. He's just, I hit him with my car. And they're like, okay, you hit him with your car. And they're like, you realize if we come to your house, we're gonna have to wake up all the neighbors. It's gonna be like we're gonna have to, you know, fence everything off. It's gonna be like a containment center to find this Bigfoot. So are you sure you want us to wake all the neighbors up? And he says, nope, nope, we're good. Just it's a prank call. Sorry, wrong number. Bye. He hangs up.
Yeah.
Uh, it was just, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And don't worry, because now with all of this chaos, um, you know, their nosy neighbor Irene, that I think
mhm,
is like a good friend to Nancy,
she is.
she is watching their dog, Jack, I think, or no, little Bob, little
Little
Bob.
Bob.
Yeah, little Bob. And he's really cute. He's like a little Jack Russell Terrier.
Hmm.
And she's on her way. They gave her like a little phone call, or she like called and said,
She
I'm on
saw
my
they were
way.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, I saw the lights on," and she's one of those ones where she like peeks into the windows and everything.
Hmm.
She's a
Yeah.
little creep.
So we're like, hide
Um,
everything. Like,
and they just are like scrambling. They're like, well, shit, what are we supposed to do? Because it's the next
mhm.
morning and the fridge is still like wide open on the floor. All of the doorways are obviously broken because he had to push them up, like Harry had to push them up in order to fit through everything.
Mhm.
And Ernie is just like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the Bigfoot to the basement. Like, don't worry, guys. Like, he's not gonna hurt me. And he basically takes Harry's hand. And Harry is very gentle with Ernie. Like, you can tell
Mhm.
that they like Harry is very protective of Ernie. Like, they have like a cute little brotherly dynamic. So then they go in the basement, and poor Harry like falls down the stairs because he's so
Breaks
heavy
them.
that the
Mhm.
staircase breaks, and he just goes through the stairs. And of course, George and Nancy are like, "Oh my God, what the hell was that?" Like, "Oh my God, like." Ernie, are you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And then Harry gives like the little like thumbs up, like he's
Yeah.
fine. He's just like,
Yeah.
"Rrr."
He's like, he's really strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So Irene comes in and she notices the smell because Bigfoot obviously has that particular smell to him.
Oh, bad.
And they're like, oh, it's the fridge. You know, we were. So she's like, what happened to your fridge? They're like, we're just thawing it out with the food in it.
And all of the
Like,
food is literally like scattered on the floor too.
everywhere. And then Irene's like, okay. And then she continues to go towards the fridge and she asks for peanut butter because she's on this new crazy diet. In the 80s, there were so many, I mean, even nowadays, there's so
Yeah.
many fad diets,
I
but
mean,
like
there's still
80s and
crazy
early
diets
90s were
now.
crazy ones.
It
Like,
just reminds me of the, and then when I start to feel faint, then I eat a cube of cheese.
cheese. I'm one stomach flew away from my go weight.
I love the devil wears Prada.
Yeah, so Nancy's like, well, of course the peanut butter is always on the second shelf. So she grabs it and she gives it to her
She's like
aunt and said, like,
straddling the fridge because it's still on the floor, and then she's like, "Oh, I know it's here somewhere. Here it is."
yeah, yeah. Irene thinks nothing. I was just like, okay, cool, thanks.
Oh,
Uh,
so good.
yeah, and she taps George's stomach. She's like, I'm on this new diet. It's gonna be great. She taps him on his stomach like you could use this diet too. Well, Bigfoot's underneath and he's pushing like the floor and George is on it, so the floor goes whoop. So George is slowly going like whoop
Yeah.
like this, and he's pretending to do like squats. He's like, no need for a diet, Irene. Doing squats, working the body off. Oh, exercising. That's all this guy needs. And then he like kicks the floor. The
Oh
floor
my
stops.
gosh.
And again, Irene's like, this is weird, but okay.
Yeah, she honestly, I feel like
Yeah.
Irene's seen some things, so
Yeah.
she's not really thinking of it. She's like, you know what? It sounds pretty normal to me.
And then be right before she leaves, Bigfoot puts his hand through the laundry like little chute, and Nancy grabs like a pot, the thingy, what is it, pot holder thingy,
Hmm.
and she's like hitting it, and then she like closes it, and she's like, what was that? Irene's like, what was that? She's like, oh, Ernie has a gerbil like for a science experiment.
Yeah, it was just like the most amount of BS I've ever heard, but it
Uh,
was. Irene didn't think twice of it. She just goes, "All right."
So she grabs after she hits it with the towel. She's not hurting him, obviously. She grabs a plant and just gives him the plant, and then he leaves. He like puts his arm back down. Here's your plant now.
Oh, so now Irene is gone. She finally gets the memo and gets out of there. They basically shut the door on her after she takes the peanut butter. And now they're trying to figure out, okay, is Ernie okay? Because there's a lot of movement going on down
Mhm.
there. And Ernie's fine, and George basically tells him that he's gonna pull him up and say, like, here, grab my hand. And Harry lifts Ernie up, like just like obviously super
Mhm.
strong. So he just like lifts him up and he's like, here you go, and then gives George a smile. So I think that their relationship is mended now. I think that
Yeah.
Harry has a really good rapport with everybody. He definitely felt like safer with Nancy because she's the motherly figure, and Ernie
Mhm.
obviously because Ernie's so cute and little, he would never do anything.
Or
But
shoot
I
him.
think yeah, yeah, he's freaking nuts. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, but I don't, yeah. But they basically have a good rapport with everybody
Hmm.
now.
Yep.
Um, and George is like, okay, well, at least now Harry's stuck in the basement,
Yes.
basically, because now he's not gonna like be causing any mischief. And then, of course, he just launches himself from the basement into the kitchen. Like he lifts himself up, like just
Yeah.
super
He's like,
strong.
oh.
Right,
Yep.
muscled up. And Lil Bob is not liking it. Little Bob is like, okay, when did you get another pet? So all he does is keep barking at him, and he's jumping up like
Keep
super
jumping.
high,
Hmm.
almost like to his like eye level or shoulder height maybe. And as Little Bob is in a jump, Bigfoot catches him like mid jump, and Little Bob just like growls at him,
Hmm.
and the Bigfoot just like covers his face with his whole hand. He's just like,
Yeah.
okay. Like, why is he growling at me? Why is he barking at me? And Nancy, of course, being the motherly figure that she is, she goes over there and basically shows him how to be kind to the
Hmm.
animal. Like, she's like, this is our pet. So then, like, she was showing him, like, to pet him, like,
Hmm.
appropriately and not just, like, have his whole hand over his
Yeah.
face.
Right.
But, and then as he's, like, petting the dog, Nancy
Hmm.
notices that he has this cut on his hand. So, of course, the first thing as a mother, she's going to bring out the first aid kit.
Sure is. Yep. And she's gonna bring out that really stingy stuff. Oh God, I forgot what it's called. It's like in a little, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little
Jen
it's
actually
stronger
gonna.
than peroxide. Like
Yeah.
it
It's that
stings
like
way more than
iodine looking
peroxide.
thing. Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot what it was called. It stings like hell. And of course, it does sting like hell, And Ernie tells him like, it's sting. I close my eyes, and then
Yeah.
Bigfoot closes his eyes like this,
He's so cute.
and he's like, ah, she's like, I'm so sorry, it hurts. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. That she like blows on it. It's really
Mhm.
cute. It's like a nice little, uh, you know,
Yeah.
uh, human moment.
Relationship building.
And George and Nancy discuss what to do with him because they're like, we can't live with a Bigfoot. It's kind of weird. So George
Yeah.
wants to keep him and get rich, and Nancy wants to bring him back home because that's what's best for him. She's like,
Yeah.
what if he's not the only one? What if?
Mhm.
Um, so now we're gonna cut back to the creepy beret. I call him
That
creepy
was
beret
like
guy.
licking the butt fuzz. Yeah, Jacques
Yes,
Lefleur.
Jacques Lafleur. Yes, he wears a beret. His whole thing is the beret, so I just call him beret dude. Creepy beret dude. He is talking to an owner of a Bigfoot shop. It's like side of the road, like buy Bigfoot stuff here, like the plasters of the foots and stuff like that, all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. And so the Bray guy tells the man that he was this close and shows him the hairs he found slash tasted. And the man's like, I don't believe you. I'm done with this. Like you need to give this up. There's no such thing as Bigfoot. And he's like, you used to believe in him. What's going on? He's like, I wasted my whole life trying to find something that's not there because
Mhm.
this gentleman is older. He's older than Jacques. And he's like, so just give it up. Unless you've got, I'll buy the foot plaster things off of you. Fine, whatever. But there's no difference from the hair that you're carrying than this hair on this like Bigfoot. That's a
Like this
dollar a
fake
strand.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a fake. Yeah. So the Bray guy is pretty mad. Jacques pretty mad about this, and he just like leaves and takes off.
Mhm.
And then we're back at the Hendersons. George has taught Bigfoot how to sit using sugar cubes. I love it. I love that he has the little sugar cubes, and he's
Mhm.
like places it on his in his mouth. It's so cute.
I know. It's like the little training treats.
It is exactly. And the only problem is that when he sits, he destroys the furniture he sits on.
Yeah,
He does kind
he's
of like
so
a hop.
heavy.
He does like a hop and sit. It's like cute. And George is like, we're working on it still. And and it's like when he goes, somebody else says sit, and he like sits and like on the table again and like crushes the table. And Harry gives George like the look of like, that's what you get for teasing me with the sugar cubes,
Yeah. That's what you get for
and just
trying to train me, bro.
yeah, like kind of, realizing he's not a dumb animal. He is like a person.
Yeah.
And Nancy wants George to take him back. That's what Nancy wants done. Ernie calls them into the living room where they find Bigfoot sitting on the recliner in front of the TV with like his feet like up. It's super
Yeah,
cute.
fully reclined.
Yes, fully reclined. His feet are like completely in front of like there's just that one little area he can see this like old
Mhm.
TV and it's like black and white shows like Mr. Ed, it has like Adam's Family. It's, this is
Yeah.
1987, so um and he's watching TV and he's just laughing. His laugh is like a full human laugh. He's like, "Ah, ha, 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 ha." It's like slapstick comedy laughing. And the little dog is like laying on him. It's so cute. He's like so like cuddled up to him. And Ernie gave him some dip, like chip dip. And it's like on him and he's dipping leaves from the plant into the dip like chips and he's eating them and it's like so great. And Ernie tells him like he's like he really likes it, Mom. And he's like he's not so into the blue cheese though. And
It
they
was like
look
splattered.
and it's literally on the wall and it's like slowly falling down the blue cheese like
Ew.
dripping down the wall. Yeah. And yeah, and so George is he wants to, take Bigfoot back. So he's trying to bribe him to get into the car. This is a little bit later. And obviously Bigfoot doesn't like the car for obvious reasons. It hit him.
Yeah,
And then
he
he
was
was
on
on top
top
of
of
it. He
it. He
flew
was
off of
on the
it.
dashboard. He flew off of it. Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Basically, seen
And
all the outside of the car. It's not the inside.
right, pretty much. Of course, everybody's sad. Sarah's not sad because she's like, I hate you. You ate
Indy
my
stinks.
corsage. Yeah,
Smells.
you smell. I don't
She's
like
also a
anything about you.
teenage girl, so what could make her
Correct.
happy at
So
that
she hates
point?
everything. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
and she's always on the phone and whatever.
Hmm.
Typical teenage girl. So when Bigfoot sees the car, George is trying to like fix the bumper, like tie it back on, sort of like he grabs the bumper and he just throws it, Bigfoot, and it lands in Irene's pool.
She's got a new floaty.
She's got that in there. Poor Irene's pool. It's a really nice in-ground pool.
Hmm.
Um, you know, Ernie's super sad. George is really sad. And George had gotten a whole bunch of hamburgers and fish sandwiches and stuff from like the local burger joint. And he's like, look at here, burger. And he gives him the burger. And when he opens it, he's like, he looks at the like beef patty. He's a vegetarian. He doesn't eat meat. Like he doesn't eat red meat. So he like throws it away and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about you. You're the fillet of fish," because he had eaten one of their goldfish prior.
Yeah, he's like, oh, right, a pescatarian.
Yeah, so he gave him the fish sandwich, and he very much enjoys the fish sandwich. So he takes. I think that was what Ernie ordered was the fish sandwich. So Ernie goes to like eat it, and he just grabs it from him, and then he gives Ernie the like 20 burgers. He's like, "Oh, fishes for Harry," and
Yeah. You could have this though.
you could have the 19 burgers, Ernie. You look like you could eat them all. They're like more than you weigh, but cool, whatever.
Right, right.
And so George throws the fish sandwiches in the back with the fries. They're like, "Ooh, look at, yay!" And so he goes into the back. He goes into the back of the car, but then when he sits up, he pushes the top of the car so it has like a big blob thing for his head, so he can fit in it. And Ernie runs into the house and he's crying because he's super upset.
Mhm.
While George is consoling him, Harry now has his name. That's what they called him, Harry. He runs off because he's like doesn't know what's happening. He's like, they don't want me, but they're crying. Like I don't understand. George goes to look for him and hears him howling. And Harry has broken into a different house, and he's in the fridge. This reminds me of me and your dad. So the husband and wife are sleeping, okay? And she wakes the husband up and goes, whatever his name is, Jeff, whatever. Jeff. My
My
name
name
is
is
Jeff.
Jeff.
She's like, there's somebody in the house. And he's like, well, what do you want me to do about it? And she goes, don't worry, I'll handle it. That's me. Just go back to bed. I got this. And
Right.
she goes downstairs and he hides behind the fridge and his little toe is moving. and you can see that there's a rat or a mouse trap or something. So
Mhm.
she thinks she had a gun, like a little pistol, and she puts it down 'cause she's like, oh, it's a mouse. So she grabs like the paper or magazine, and she rolls it up, and she's gonna hit it. And she goes, I'm gonna get you, and she hits it, but it's his toe, and he goes, ah, and then she's like, ah, and then she's like, oh, and she faints because
Yeah.
obviously,
I would
and
too.
and it's just really funny because he's like, she's scared of him, he's scared of her, so he of course takes off. So George wakes up the next morning to see Irene's pool man pulling a bumper out of her pool. Great.
Perfect.
Ernie tells little Bob that he's free and he can go back into the wild. He's like, go back, little Bob, go back to where you came from, go back to the wild, you're free now. And little Bob runs away.
Mhm.
George and Nancy are listening to a morning show. It's like this super annoying dude, like your typical like sexist pig guy, a-hole,
Yeah.
from the 80s. And he says, he's reading the paper, and he says, a man discovered his wife unconscious on top of their car. After the paramedics had revived the woman, she said she must have been put up there by a huge hairy man-like creature resembling the legendary Bigfoot, and who she had earlier mistaken for a mouse.
Yeah, which he's like, you are batshit crazy.
Yeah,
The
he's like,
host is like, this crazy woman.
yes. And of course, George knows, holy shit, this is Harry. This is
Yeah.
Harry. Where everyone else is like, this lady's crazy. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and now George is really missing Harry. Like, they definitely are little buddies, and he still wants to look for Harry because he regrets putting him back out there because he's
Mhm.
not even enjoying his life like in the wild, like if he had a family or anything like that. Like now he's just basically running rampant around because I think he's just mad at the world right now because he feels disowned. But Nancy basically tells him like you're gonna feel a little bit more normal. Like you have to go to work though because all these other people are probably gonna get suspicious if you're not
Mhm.
working. Also, in the late 80s, like the man is the one that works and Nancy doesn't work, so they probably needed money as well.
Mhm.
Especially because they have like $200,000 in damages in their house right
At
now.
least, at least, at least.
Um,
Uh,
and Ernie yells like, "Mom, he's back!" And George like whips around, and Nancy is like, "Oh my God!" Like they all think that it's Harry, but Ernie was talking about Little Bob. That
Little
because
Bob's
he
back.
let Little Bob out and said that, oh, you can be free too. And Little Bob came back to the front door. So, of course, the whole family is still missing Harry.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we cut back to Skeezy Beret guy, Jacques
Jacques
Lafleur.
Lafleur.
And he takes the license plate that he found that was George's license plate, but he doesn't know it's George's yet, to the DMV because he wants to track down this guy because he has a feeling that obviously based off of the clues that he saw that this person either hit him or took him, whatever.
Mhm.
So he is trying to get the address, and these, for someone who needed 17 documents to get the real ID, this lady did not even like bat an eye, nothing. When he like took the or gave the thing to the DMV, she's
License plate
like, "Yep,
number, yeah.
this is the address," like pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
It was
And
horrible.
it's funny because he's trying to make up a story so that they're not like questioning him. He
And
didn't
they
even
just
need
don't
the
care.
story. She's like, that'll be $10.
Yeah, she's like, "Just give me my money, bud."
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was very interesting to see, but I know a lot of stuff has changed since then.
Yeah.
And he needs to basically dress up as a park ranger because I think he just loves a little storyteller time because he just wants to be somebody else so badly,
Right.
even though nobody knows who he is. Like in this town, I don't think anybody's ever seen this man like until
Hmm.
like we'll find out later.
Yeah.
But he's dressed as like a park ranger and he basically knocks on Nancy and George's door because, the DMV just gave him the address without even blinking an eye. And our crazy queen Irene is the one who answers the door first and basically is like
Mhm.
shooting the shit with him, like, who even are you? What are you doing here? And then Nancy comes to the door, and of course, Nancy is very level headed and respectful, so she's gonna hear out whoever's at the door.
Yeah. Yeah. She tells him like, she tells Richard Smith, because that's his name he uses, who's from the forestry department, uh, and she's like, no, no, he's fine, he's fine. He just got up and walked away. And he's like, walked, and she goes, you scampered, crawled, whatever, whatever. And so he thinks he smells Bigfoot, like behind her, like he's like sniffing kind of, and she tells him that she has a sink and a potty backed up that she has to attend to. I love why she says potty. And a
Yeah.
potty. Oh
Sorry, my potty's
no.
backed up.
And then she's I have a potty backed up. And then she goes and she's like, gotta go, and she closes the door in his face. So but Irene is there, of course, to comfort Nancy, who thinks that all of this house destruction was her and George fighting.
Hmm.
She's like, well, when my husband and I fought for the first time, it was so much worse than this. And I'm like,
And you're still married? Scary.
he's not in
Scary
jail.
thought.
Neither of you are in jail. Like,
100%. That's terrifying.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, it just,
But
it was just
now
weird.
yeah, I know. And now we see Skeezy Beret Guy at George's work. And where George works is basically like a hunting shop that his dad owns,
Hmm.
that we find out now. Because George's true passion is to draw. He loves to
Yes.
draw. He's very good at it, phenomenal
Hmm.
at it. But he's been working for his dad for a long time. And the idiots that he works with are so douchey and just like so, like, if they were a part of a frat, it was like Sigma Apple Pie. Like, they are like
Yeah.
freaking, yeah, no, they're just like, I don't know, they're just bros, and they always
They're
like make
finance
fun of
bros,
women
but not without the finance.
yes, but without the finance, and they're just selling ammo and like bows and arrows.
Mhm.
um but again, Richard Smith, but in that place he's not Richard Smith. Like, he is buying ammo all of the time, and he's buying like the big ammo for, I don't know like what kind of gun he has, probably like a shotgun or something, like a bigger gun, but it's like
Mhm.
huge ammo for like bigger kills. And he comes up to George right away, and he's asking George about what are the biggest bullets that he sells, wants to buy all of them, and George is like, girl, we never get these shipments in, but I have about one box left, we have nothing else.
Mhm.
um, and he's just like, that's really curious, that because now all of these stories are on the news and everything about this Bigfoot running rampant, everybody is trying to like kind of buy some ammo, but he's the first one. So George is like, maybe he's hunting Harry. Maybe he's just going
Mhm.
for a big kill for big bears or whatever.
Yeah, because the bullets he had to like dust off because nobody
Yeah,
buys those
nobody
bullets.
buys
They're
them.
so big. And he's like, do you have more of these? And he's like, there's 20 bullets in there. What are you
Right.
hunting? Like Moby Dick? Like, what's going on here?
Seriously.
Yeah. And he's like, do you have more? And of course he's like, okay, he's a
Yeah,
customer,
he's like,
whatever.
girl,
Just,
take it or leave it. I got one box.
yeah, right.
Just don't miss.
Yeah, right. Get your 20 damn bullets. Uh, so George goes to the library because he wants to find out more about, Bigfoot, Sasquatch. So he goes to the library. Girl is exactly the paper, like exactly like the magazine of what you would think an 80s girl,
Hmm.
maybe in her late teens, early 20s would look like. She is the poster child, was the word I was looking for 80s. Like, she, it's just her hair, her lips, her outfits, and he's like, "Do you have any books on Bigfoot?" She's like, "You mean Sasquatch?" He's like, "Yes." She's like, "Urbans and legends, whatever, down the hall to the right or whatever." And
Yeah,
she
the
goes, "You can
basement.
also check." Yeah, she's like, "You can also check children's fiction."
Yeah, and it's just funny because George is like super secretive. He's basically whispering, and then she's just like, yeah, you can find, like, she's like yelling.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. He's trying to be all quiet, and it's not happening.
Mhm.
So he looks at all these. He's reading these books, and of course, they're all horrible. They're all like, He's like,
Yeah.
no wonder people want to kill Harry because this is their perception of what they think Sasquatch are. They're just there to kill. They have no feelings. They're just animals. And, George has had the time to get to know him, so he knows that that's not true. But he did originally think that.
Mhm.
It's just a. it's just, yeah. And he's like, well, geez, these books are terrible. But he does notice that there is one book. It's the Journal from the North American Anthropological Ireland.
Anthropological. Anthropological Institute.
Yep, that place, Institute, by Wallace Wrightwood. And then he turns the page to see the beret guy, Jacques Lafleur.
Whitewood.
That's him.
No, that's Jacques Lafleur. He's a hunter who came into the store today.
No, honey, this is Richard Smith, the forestry guy I told you about who came to our house today. That lying bastard!
She's
Yeah,
so
pisses
mad.
off Nancy. She feels betrayed. Now she's pissed.
Don't you piss off Nancy, man. You have no idea. Don't wake that beast up.
Okay, I will tell you, Nancy's are badasses though, because wasn't the mom from Stranger Things wasn't the mom's
Nancy.
name Nancy
Yeah.
too, and she was
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah.
Right. Now Harry wants to head to the mountains to be home, but the problem is they're in Seattle, so they're right in the city. And he looks over and sees the mountains, and you can tell like he feels happy when he sees those mountains. He's like, this is where I belong, you know. We don't know if he's got a family or anything, but he's just like feels home there. But the only problem is there's like a 6-lane highway in between him and the mountains. And he sees the highway, and all he wants to do, he thinks it's just gonna be super easy to cross. But there is a ton of cars in his way, and he is just not going across the street because they are going really, really fast. And now he's really upset because he just really thinks that there's absolutely no way for him to get back home.
Yep. Next day, George wants to go find the person that had written that book, the non-scary book. Not going to pronounce it again, from the society because I can't.
The Anthropological Institute.
Sure. Yeah, just flex, Ireland. Fine.
I will. I teach science, so we have a lot of long words. I had to teach deoxyribonucleic acid to the freshmen, and they're like, "What?"
Great. Great. Have fun with that. You're like, yes, I have fun with that.
It's just DNA.
Yeah.
It's easy.
So the next day, George, he wants to find this Wallace Wrightwood. This Dr. Wallace Wrightwood had written this book, and which he feels is like a really good like perception of this man has really seen the Bigfoot as almost
For like what it is.
Yes, like they're intelligent, they can, all this kind of stuff. And so he goes in there, and he thinks he's going to see this museum, but instead he sees a Bigfoot shop. It's like $1 for this Bigfoot shop, postcards, Bigfoot head, whatever, and the man that's talking, this is the man that was talking to Jacques earlier when he's like, Jacques like, here's the hair, and he's like, I gave up on it, like, why don't you just give up on it? And he got really mad, and he like took off. So this is the same man, and he tells George that Dr. Wrightwood is not there. And George leaves a message. He's like, can I leave a message? He says, sure. And he tells the man that he seems to be the only one that believes in Bigfoot. And George discusses a hypothetical situation about a friend who would want to take in Bigfoot and make him part of the family. And then the man's like, you're going to need to either leave or buy something.
Yeah, this guy is crazy.
So George walks out with a whole bunch of stuff. He walks out with, this is actually funny because it's a little Easter egg. He walks out with a Bigfoot lamp. So it's just a foot and then a lamp. Now, if you remember, Nancy was in a movie called The Christmas Story, which we know revolves around a certain lamp.
Yeah, the leg.
Fragile must be from France.
Yeah, must be Italian. Love it.
So that just was like a cute little Easter egg to that. So now we're going to cut back to Harry in the neighborhood, and he sees a man pick up dog poo because he's like walking the dog, and he's like, ugh. Like, ew. He's like, he actually says yuck. He goes, yuck.
Yeah,
he's
so cute.
And then he's looking into a window, and there's a woman making dinner. She has like something, she has water boiling, and then she takes the chicken, it's a whole chicken, and she puts it in with the vegetables and stuff, and in the boiling water, and she's cooking it. And then he kind of looks over and hears like some noise, and it's a hot tub that started up with, how it makes the noise with the bubbles. It's like blah, 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 blah. And then he sees a man help his wife, like he's helping her 'cause they're both elderly, helping her into the hot tub. And it's almost the same way that the lady put the chicken, she grabbed it by its arms, like its wings or whatever, and she put it, and she's like, doo, 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 boop. And that's the same way that the man is putting the woman. So he thinks that he's cooking this lady. So he freaks out. Bigfoot's like, no. And suddenly a guy like sees him, and like he screams, they scream, everybody just screams. They're like, ah. So of course he runs away because he's scared. Mm-hmm. So, and then we cut to the next day, the next morning. And what do we get?
So the next day, the whole news crew from like all these different channels are in front of the townhomes that Harry was just at. And of course, now because publicity is like super involved and there's been multiple sightings of this, now people are really starting to believe it. And George's dad is a very lucrative guy. His thought is always like money, money, money. And he wants in on this action. And he basically goes up to George and says, hey, listen, like I know you love to draw, son, and he's probably one that told him to give up on his dreams because drawing is, probably not the right way to go. But he says that if you can draw this life-size, like very like angry kind of picture of a Bigfoot, like we want it to be very scary, like sharp claws, fangs, because he wants to sell his ammo, because now that all of these people know and believe that this guy is out there, now there's like kind of like a ransom out there for him. Like they want to be the first one to catch it and kill it and blah blah blah. And probably the only gun and ammo shop in town is George's dad's. And yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like every guy and his brother are buying that have never shot a gun. Like,
I was gonna say, they probably don't even know how to load a gun, and they're just buying all this ammo.
And they're like, I want this AK-47. Yeah, and it's like, okay, you're not getting that. Yeah. And then
so it's like, girl, how about in 2 weeks?
Yeah, the guy's like, give me that one. No, give me that one. Give me that one. He's like all crazy. He's like, I gotta get in on this. He's like, hey, buddy, I just saw a Bigfoot. Like, they just spotted him 2 blocks away from my house. And then George is like, oh, okay. Where do you live? And he's like, why? And he goes, it's for the permits for the gun. And he's like, oh, okay, blah, 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 in this subdivision or whatever. And he's like, okay. And he like takes all the information down, and then he just leaves. And the guy's like, wait, what about my gun?
Yeah,
and
literally.
So, yeah, he's like, you're not getting a gun here.
See ya.
Yeah, get a life. You don't even know how to shoot a gun.
True.
Yeah, and so George can't seem... So when George goes home, he's drawing, the thing for his dad, and he just cannot draw him angry. Like, he can't, because he had drawn a beautiful picture of what Harry really looked like. It was a sweet like picture. Nancy's like, it's a beautiful picture, and she's like, so he tried, he couldn't do it, he kept crumpling it up. And then he had given his dad the picture, a big one, but it's of him nice. He's like smiling of what he really does look like. And the dad's like, this is bullcrap, you can't do anything right, like it was just kind of like shitty. Like, I asked you to do one thing and you can't even do that. You're a terrible drawer. I should have hired somebody else. Just really shitty. So George goes to look for Harry from what that guy had said, the crazy gun guy had said, like, oh, in this block, and this. And he runs into like, it's like the news. Everybody wants to know what's going on with the news. You've got the vans, you've got the reporters, you've got 8 million cameras. And apparently a man got into an altercation with Harry. He says, like, oh, he attacked me. He was going to eat me. He took my bike with me on it and threw it. And then he was going to eat me. And I pepper sprayed him. And then George intervenes. And he's like, that's bullshit. And he's like, he wasn't going to eat you because Bigfoot is a vegetarian. He's a vegetarian. He tells the man, I have no doubt that you saw him. But when you did, You were so scared shitless that you crashed your precious 10 speed into the stop sign, bumped your head on the curb, and probably scared him half to death in the process. I'm right, aren't I? The man tears up and he's like, yes, that's exactly
Got it.
what happened.
Yeah.
And so, of course, the news people are like, whoop, let's go 180 it over to this guy. He
Oh,
must
how
know
did
some
you know
stuff.
that? Yeah.
Yeah. And they ask for his name. They're like, who are you? And he's like, my name is George Hen. George Hen. And it's just all these like cameras. They're like zooming and he just can't get over, and he's like, George Hen. George Hen. They're like, what? And then he just takes off. He's like, I have to go see a man about a unicorn. And he just takes off.
Right. Yeah, so now we cut back to Harry, and it's nighttime now, and he's just wandering downtown by himself, and he passes this TV shop where they used to show like all the little TVs in the window, and they would be playing, and the thing that was playing on those TVs was the news. And he stops and sees George on those TVs because remember, George was just on the news earlier that day. And he tries to grab the TV and take it with him. So he like reaches in, the glass is broken already from the TV stop because he punched right through it. And then he like picks up the TV and he's like looking at him and it's very lovingly. He's just like, oh, like my George, I miss him because they've just both been looking for each other this whole time. And when he tries to take it with him, it unplugs and then it disappears. And Harry is pissed off. He's like, are you freaking kidding me? So then he basically just like throws that one away. And then he takes another one, does the same thing, throws that one. So now he's just like basically wrecking this TV store. And these two cops come. And Harry's obviously, because there's the lights going off and everything and, sirens, all that. And Harry did not like that. So he threw a TV at them and then just like sprints off. And the cops are like, what the hell just happened? What was that? And now even the cops have had a sighting, so now everybody is looking for Harry. And George pulls up and does like this Bigfoot call, hoping that Harry will hear him and come to him.
Yeah, it's like, home.
Yeah.
It's like
a conch shell kind of vibe.
Yeah. Like Dad and I's
random-
wedding. Yeah, the conch shell. Yeah.
Yeah, the 2-minute conch shell.
What do we do for these 2 minutes? It's so awkward. That's a story for another day, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jacques has joined the hunt, of course, with his 50 pounds of ammo.
Of course.
And he sees Harry is in a dumpster on a garbage truck, like attached to the garbage truck. So he goes and climbs in, and Harry pops up, roars, and throws him in the dumpster, minus his rifle. So he does not have his rifle when he's thrown into the dumpster. And Harry sees George and tries to get his attention. And when George sees him, Harry is so happy that he waves. He's like, hello, like, I'm over here, like, hello. And it's really cute. So George tells Harry to stay in the dumpster because the cops are coming, and he drives the truck somewhere else. So he, like, raises the dumpster up. Jacques is still in the dumpster, and he's kind of, like, in the corner, like all slumped over in the garbage. He doesn't have his rifle, but of course he has other things. He has like a pistol and everything.
Knives and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so when Jacques comes to, because after Harry had thrown him against the thing, he like passed out because that's a hard throw.
Yeah.
And he grabs his pistol to shoot him, but George slams on his brakes and Jacques loses the gun. And so Harry picks it up, and so here's the gun, and he points it at himself, and he's like looking at it, because he doesn't know what like a little pistol is. And Jacques slowly goes to like pull the trigger to kill him, because he knows it's gonna hit him right in the head. And the George again slams on his brakes, and the whole dumpster goes flying into the street and just like skids across the street like yeets. Woo!
So now Harry jumps out, and he of course wants to reunite with George and runs to George. And then they head into George's car. And of course Harry has to make another bump on the roof. Poor George's car has taken such a beating, and at the beginning of this film it is like noted that that car is his baby. So it's just so funny that like literally every other scene his car is just getting destroyed in some way, shape, or form. So you just see like Harry and like his little like head like sticking out basically because it made the bump on the roof. And the cops find Jacques just like in the dumpster and they arrest Jacques.
Because he has
So
8 million guns and everything, yeah.
yeah, because he's unlawfully armed and also just like chilling in a dumpster in the middle of the street. So that's probably not a good look either.
driving driving a dumpster without a license.
Yeah, without like the commercial driver's license or anything.
Right. Yep. So back at the Hendersons, George wakes Nancy and Ernie to show them Harry, who is covered in garbage, so he smells even better than he normally does. And then Sarah kind of comes down the stairs a little bit, and she's like, I knew it was you. I could smell you all the way from upstairs, and Harry just kind of gives her a look, like, And Ernie goes to grab the camera so that they can take a picture. But when he goes into the closet, he's like, it's just in the closet. He goes to get it, and George's like, no. And when he opens it, all of like the heads come out and the stuffed like the stuffed real animals.
Trophies. Yeah.
Yeah, all the trophies come out, and Harry is devastated. He's like, he looks at George, and this is a really great scene because like George is telling him, like, I made a mistake, and he's really sorry. He's like, that's not me anymore. I made a mistake. And Sarah's like, Dad, he doesn't understand. And George says, I know something he will understand. And so he goes, everybody grab, some of the stuff, some of the heads and everything. And then they go and they bury them all in the backyard.
Yeah.
And to Harry, that was everything. Like, he kind of like pats George and is like, thank you for doing that for me. I appreciate that, because George felt absolutely awful after, he used to hunt. That was like his thing. He's like, I got all these trophies. And now he's like, I am embarrassed that I have all these trophies because, and of course, there's still another problem. Harry still stinks. They're like, what are we going to do about Harry and that smell? So where did they take Harry?
So they take him to, it's Irene's pool, is it not?
Yes.
So they take him next door to Irene's pool, and they are giving him a spa day. They are giving him like the best pampering.
Yes.
And the problem is now like the beautiful pool water was blue. Now it's like dark sludge brown. It's because he's so disgusting and dirty. Because obviously he's never had a bath before or anything. But now he's all gussied up and ready to go. And it's funny because after his little spa day, they cut to the next day. And this poor pool man needs to be paid overtime because not only is he fishing bumpers out of the pool, now he has to replace all of this water. And there's so much hair in this pool.
In the skimmer.
Yes, in the skimmer. He's basically pulling out giant, like, tumbleweeds of butt fuzz from the freaking Bigfoot. And the pool water is just disgustingly brown now.
So gross. He asks Irene,
Do you have a cat? No. Good. Then it's just a hairball.
This poor pool man.
It's so much. It literally looks like two animals are.
Hair. Like you can have enough. You can literally make another Harry from all this fuzz.
Oh, for sure. It's just so funny. Oh, great! It's just a big hairball then.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And then they show like just cute little Harry, or not little Harry, but Harry. He's got like they're getting combing his hair, and he's getting blow dried, and he's like smiling, and it's all super cute. And then it cuts to Jacques. Jacques is in jail because he got arrested, of course. And he's making his phone call and tells whomever is on the other end of the line, I don't know who he's talking to bail him out now because he knows where Bigfoot lives.
Yep. So now the phone is ringing and it's George's phone. So George is answering it and it's Dr. Wrightwood. remember he left that message when he went to the Bigfoot shop, and the guy was like, "You got either got to buy something or you got to get out of here."
Right.
So Dr. Wrightwood would like to basically meet at their house for dinner because, I mean, I think that he understands that George also humanizes the Bigfoot as well. So I think he's very interested in that. Especially with all of the crazy chaos going on now that everybody's had sightings and everything. And Harry grabs the other half of the phone and puts it up to his ear. He's like mimicking George. Like, again, just these cute little human-like things that keep happening. And just keep in mind, the house has never been cleaned up from Harry's original state of craziness. So the family's trying to like clean up this house because there is a literal like doctor coming to their house. And they're sprucing it up a little bit, and then when the doorbell rings, George answers the door, and it's the older gentleman from the Bigfoot shop that we had seen before.
Yes. Yep. And, he's like, wait a minute. He's like, yes, I'm Dr. Wallace Wrightwood, and he's like, okay. And so he's like, I really like, your how you talked about Bigfoot, your friend had, wanted to, he's like, that really intrigued me, so they're going to have dinner. They're going to sit, he's like, something smells delicious. Because they're like waiting for it to be like, what does that smell?
Yeah, like, oh, he reeks in here.
Yeah. And George tells him, well, that's the roast beef. So he's like really excited. So they all sit down to dinner. Everybody's dressed really nice. Like Sarah has like a nice top or dress on or something. Ernie has like a little suit and tie on, I think. And they sit down and Sarah goes, Mom, where's the roast at? And George pops up and says, oh, I'll get it. And then Nancy tells him, she says,
Where's the roast?
Ah, the roast. I'll get it, honey.
The roast is resting in a shallow, unmarked grave in the backyard.
and George says, well, there's plenty of other stuff to eat. So they just go start eating.
Yeah, and Harry is up in George's studio, just hanging out up there. It's like kind of like an attic area almost. And he's just walking around and he sees these drawings of the Bigfoot that George was doing before. Remember when his dad asked him to do like the advertisement, but he couldn't obviously give him the mean, angry with the long claws, fangs. So all of those are left behind in his studio. So Harry is not happy about seeing this because he was like, I thought we had a connection, like, this is my family, but now you just think of me as this big beast because this is not who I am. So he's obviously pissed off. So Harry like marches downstairs, and as he's marching downstairs, Dr. Wrightwood is telling a story about how he thought that he saw this Bigfoot, and just because of the thought of it, it ruined his entire life because he dedicated his entire life to basically proving that this is a life form that exists. And as he's literally going through this story, Harry's literally just like lurking right behind him. And he basically tells Dr. Wrightwood basically tells the family that, could you imagine like what a Bigfoot could do to your home? And they're all just like looking around like, yeah, girl, we have so many damages in this effing house. And George is like, yeah, you know what? I think I could. And then he tells him that there are no big feet.
Yeah, he's trying to give George a warning, like, don't let it consume your life. There is not, and will there ever be a Bigfoot? It's not real. Yeah, there is no Bigfoot. And the family just starts laughing at him. He's like, what's so funny? And then
again, Harry is still directly standing right behind him.
Yes, and when he turns around, Harry just does, like, the biggest smile, like, hi. And Wrightwood just looks at him, and then he's just like he's not afraid of him. He's smiling, and he just goes, Yahoo! He was like so excited, like he
My
like
whole life
screams.
was not like a waste.
Yes, yes. And then Harry smiles and he claps. It's so cute. And then Nancy tells him that he's so smart, and she whispers to Wrightwood, and George taught him how to sit. And then Wrightwood yells, to sit! And then Harry gets excited, and he jumps up and he sits. on the floor, but he goes through the floor.
Yep.
Yep. And onto the pool table in the basement. He pops up from the basement, and Nancy, while she's talking to Wrightwood, doing double duty mom things, she's like talking to him and she's making a plate of food for him, all veggies, because he's a vegetarian. And then she hands him the plate, and he grabs the plate and he grabs like a carrot and he's like, it's like really cute, or celery or something. I think he's celery.
Yeah.
And it's just
He's
like
crunchy.
such a cute, like very,
Yeah. He's definitely a part of the family now.
yeah.
And then we cut to Sneaky Beret Man, Jacques, and he is still in jail. So whatever phone calls he's been making, like these guys have like really no rush of getting him out.
Right.
He is gonna get out, but they're in no rush to get this man. And especially because man's been rolling around in trash for the better part of the night. So it's funny because when they cut him, like they see, because they're all in the same cell or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like,
Because it's like a holding cell. It's not like
Yeah.
he's actually in prison or anything.
Right.
Like he's just in a holding cell. Because he's like not dangerous, but you know how it goes. And all the other men in this holding cell are on the opposite side because Jacques smells like literally sewage water. And Jacques is like pacing back and forth, and the guys are like moving away from him.
yeah,
And
and you're
Jacques,
like, ugh.
yeah, and Jacques is pissed because he's like, dude, I made my calls. These people should be rushing to get me out of here, and he's not out still.
Yeah. And so George is talking to Wrightwood about finding Harry a safe place to live. He's like, we got to find him somewhere safe. And we see Harry making a bed out of branches. Like he's bringing branches in from like a evergreen tree to like for his like bed. And Wrightwood says that he knows a place and will help in any way possible. And so they're going to leave tomorrow morning. The whole family's going to go. They're all going to take him. So Wrightwood goes out to his car and grabs a sleeping bag. And he puts a sleeping bag next to Harry, next to Harry. And is like, I'll spend the night, And it's really cute because when they wake up in the morning, it's literally Harry, Ernie, little Bob, and then Wrightwood.
Yeah.
Like it's
They're,
like
it's
really
snuggling. It's so
yeah, it's
cute.
like really cute. Yeah, it's not a creepy way at all. Like not in a creepy way at all. Like
No,
it's
like
just,
they're
it's
all
just
just
cute.
like,
Yes, it's very
yeah.
appropriate, very cute. And unfortunately, Jacques is finally out of jail and ready to go kill Harry.
Yeah.
So
Great.
he's
Can't wait.
yeah. So he's on his way to George's house. So we cut to the next day again, and who's poor Irene, man.
Irene. Yeah, poor Irene. If it's not her pool, it's like her roses and her flowers. And she's missing all of her flowers. She's pissed, and she's like, "What am I even paying you for?" to her gardener. Like, she's really mad. But Harry has a ton of flowers in his hand, and he is going to use all of Irene's flowers from her yard to basically apologize to Sarah. Because remember, like, he has a really good relationship with everybody in this family except for cranky old Sarah. So he has like this whole bouquet of flowers, and they're beautiful. And he brings them up to Sarah, and basically the gesture was that he was sorry because remember he ate the corsage that she was going to wear on her 15th birthday.
Yeah.
And Sarah actually smiles for once in this movie. I don't think we've seen this at all this whole time.
Yeah.
She actually smiles and she says thank you. And then she also says like, forgive me. And he smiles and then pushes her to the side and she falls down, but it wasn't meant to be like forceful or angry or anything. He's just too strong for his own good, and he was just trying to do like a little like basically a sibling shove, like a like I care about you.
He put his hand in
Like
her
on her
face and
face.
did like
Yeah.
that, like aw.
Like a gentle caress, and it ended up being like a slap almost.
Yeah, it was like
But
a
she's
push.
fine.
So she's like, "Wah."
She's good.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
fine.
Sarah's fine.
Yeah, she'll live. And let's see, where are we at here? So Irene catches Jacques in her yard smelling her roses. Like he's picking them up and doing the weird thing again, like he did with the
Yeah,
hair.
at least he's not tasting it.
Tasting them. Although if he was tasting flowers, I'd be more inclined to not be like as gross
And
than
the
somebody's
birds
random
he
hair.
found, like on the floor of the
Yeah.
woods.
Yeah, next to crap, like literally. Like
Literally.
at least you can eat some flowers. Some flowers are edible. And she thinks she's like, "What are you doing?" Trying to peek, and then he's trying to peek in George's house. So she's like, "This is a creeper. This is a creeper." And she says that she has an electric knife. It reminds me of
A carving knife.
it's the from like Tim Curry when he's got the knife. He's like,
Oh my god, at the dinner table at
yes, from Rocky Horror Picture Shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, she's threatening him with it basically, and but she sees Harry look through the window, and she screams. She's like, "Ah!" I think she faints. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
she
pretty sure
faints.
she passes out.
And then when Jacques looks at the window, it's just George's face. It's like really funny. And he's like, "Huh? She fainted over George's face? That's kind of weird, but whatever. All right."
It's not that ugly, guys.
Yeah, right. And so they all rush Harry to Wrightwood's truck, and he slashes Wrightwood slashes Jacques' tires to slow him down. And he's got one of those old pickup trucks, like I can't tell you what I don't know anything about cars, but like the like ones you would see in like country decor, like the cute little pickup truck with the little
Like a
and
Chevy pickup or something.
yeah. And when he gets in the car, he does the roof thing where he pushes.
He needs room.
Yeah, he
He's
needs
super
room. Yep. So they're heading off to, the spot that Dr. Wrightwood knows about. And Jacques steals George's car. And they're racing. They're both racing to the forest. Jacques is right behind them, and they hit traffic. So they see a police car, and its siren goes off, and you notice everybody get out of the way, even though it's standstill traffic. How everybody tries to part ways. It's very hard to do. And that gets through. Great. And that slows Jacques down a little bit. So after Harry sees this, Harry pops his head out, and he starts making a siren sound. So everybody gets out of their way so that they can get through.
It was pretty convincing. I was impressed.
It was, yeah. And then, so they find the spot, and they take Harry into the woods so that he can have a happy life.
Yeah.
So,
This is sad. I mean, because when they are finally they're home free and Jacques like stuck in traffic, like he's not even behind him anymore, really. But now Jacques is on his way, and the family knows that. So George is like, "Oh my God, I need to get Harry out and safe as quick as possible." And he basically tells Harry that he has to go again because Jacques is on his way. He's gonna kill you, and Harry doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to leave like his new family that he found, and he cares about them. And the thing that clicks in George's brain at first is, okay, in order to get rid of him, I want him to make sure that he's not wanted. Like, I want him to feel like he doesn't have any ties with us anymore and that we don't want him. So this is a really hard scene for me to watch because it was just like, because you care so much for the relationships that they build and the character development from not only the Henderson family, but also because of Harry and his humanizing. So George basically like screams at him and pretends like we don't want you here, like leave us alone, like you're not like one of us, you're not a part of this family. And he like physically slaps Harry. Like it's a hard slap too. Like just tells him to like go and like we never want to see you again. And then this is the final straw that causes Harry to be super emotional. Like he's really sad. You can see that he's really distraught on his face, and he runs into the forest. And the whole family is crying. Like even George is getting emotional, and Ernie basically, or no, they all say like, oh, like we're never gonna see him again. And Ernie, this is the one time I was happy that Ernie actually said something. He goes, well, it's fine because like we'll know where he went because we can always see him based off of we can always see where he went based off of his footprints. And everybody's like, shit. the footprints. Like
Yep.
Jacques can easily find him because of the footprints.
Yeah, because it's like snowy too, because they're up in the
Yeah,
mountains,
there's snow. Yeah,
so
so they
you
can see the tracks.
easily see the tracks in the snow. Yeah, so yeah, and so the family puts on plaster Bigfoot feet that Dr. Wrightwood had in his car,
Mhm.
and they're trying to make tracks everywhere. You know, round circle, throw them off the tree, you know, everything, trying to confuse Jacques. And we see Harry's up in a tree, and he's got like his arms straight out, and he's like leaning against the tree. And then we see like, I don't know, birds. I don't know what birds they
Yeah,
are, pigeons or something. They're
little
like
pigeons.
on his arm like in a row, and he's just really quiet and just standing still, and he's watching this, and he sees them trying to do this, and then he like grabs his face where he was slapped, and then he like smiles because he knows George was he was trying to save him, and they're trying to save him again by making these footprints everywhere, so it throws Jacques off. Jacques makes it there. Harry sees Jacques because he's still up in the tree, who is hearing George's footsteps and runs to distract Jacques, who shoots at him, and because he doesn't want him to shoot George, because he thinks George is the Bigfoot because he's following the Bigfoot, and so
Yeah.
Harry's like, I don't want you to shoot George, so he makes noise and runs away and he shoots the trees, and so Jacques Jacques looks at some bushes moving, and here comes little Bob after Jacques and grabs his foot and pulls. Like little Bob's trying so hard, he's so tiny.
Yeah.
And so Jacques grabs the dog and he just throws him, like he just launches. And then we just see Harry go yoink, grabs him out of in air,
Like in
midair.
air.
Yeah, thin air, and he holds, and then he like pets him, and then he like puts him he's pissed at him for doing that, and then he growls at Jacques, for doing that. Like, what is wrong with you? So they start to fight, and Harry crushes the gun. He stomps on it, breaks it in half, and as they're literally physically fighting, what does
Yeah,
Jacques
they're like
do?
sparring. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
So Jacques decides he's got one last thing of defense.
Yeah.
So he kicks Harry in the crotch.
Yeah.
Harry at first is just mad and he's gonna throw, and then all of a sudden you could just, again, the facial expressions that come from the actor and the way that this is just, he's like, "Arr," and then he's like, oh, and then he starts
Yeah,
to feel
he
the
hurt.
pain, and he like lets out this howl because he doesn't know what it is. He's never had that happen to him before.
Right.
And yeah, and Jacques gets away or whatever, and it's just very interesting to just his face go from angry to what am I feeling to I'm feeling something I don't like to howling. This really hurts. And so Harry he does get Jacques. He does catch up to Jacques, and he puts him on top of the car with him. He climbs on the top of the car with him, and George comes over and tells Jacques that he can't kill Harry. Like, you can't do it. And Jacques ignores George and says that, they're not going to take this away from him. I finally found Bigfoot. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to take all the glory. That's what I've been wasting my last 20, 30 years, doing.
Yeah.
And George slams him into the car door multiple times. He's just slamming him. And Harry puts his hand, so when he slams him, he doesn't hit the car anymore. And then he puts his other hand on George's chest to be like, stop. Like, don't do that. You don't need to do that. And he just says no. Like, he's like, no. And Jacques tells Harry, like, he's like, don't let him kill me. Don't let him kill me. Oh, please don't let him kill me. And Harry hugs him and he pets him.
Yeah.
He's like petting his head, and Harry grabs his hand, like he puts Jacques down. He grabs his hand and he shakes it, which is really cute. And Dr. Wallace tells Jacques, meet Harry Henderson. as they shake. It's really cute. And Harry goes to push his face, like he like a nice term of endearment,
Little
like he
caress.
did
And
Sarah, and he knocks him over. He knocks your dog way over, and then he
yeah,
just
he kind of
smiles.
deserves it though, so it's fine. He kicked him in the nuts.
Yeah, he gives like a cheesy smile. It's really cute.
Yeah.
And so Wrightwood takes a picture of the family with Harry, and they say their goodbyes. Sarah gives Harry a flower, and he pretends to eat it, and then he laughs. So I was like, ah! And then it was just really cute how
Yeah.
his character
He's grown so
gets a
much.
joke, and yeah, it's yeah. And George thanks Harry and says he will never know how much he meant to them. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, it's so
And then
sweet.
Harry gives him a big hug. George tells him to take care of himself. And then Harry says, okay.
Yeah, he responds. It's so
Okay.
sweet. And you just know that he really understands a lot, like, about what they say, and it's just so sweet.
Yep. And then Harry he heads into the forest. And what happens when he heads into the forest?
Yeah, so once he ventures into the forest and we know that he's safe, we see other little Bigfoots popping out of nowhere. And then they follow him. So they have like a whole community. And Jacques and Wrightwood decide that obviously they're going to end their wanting of hunting of those Bigfoots. We'll see what they hyperfixate on next.
What is it? It's the Loch Ness Monster. He says there's always Loch Ness. And then they laugh, of course, because they're like, the end.
Yes,
Yay.
and that's it.
Harry and the Hendersons with some of the greatest character acting of someone that has tons and tons of makeup on. I mean, it's
And only one word.
and it's
Okay.
literally 1987. There's no CGI.
Right.
He's not a puppet. He is a man. He is I think the actor's like 7'2".
Yeah.
So, it is a tall man, and I think they just did the makeup so well that it moved, and he used his eyes, and without using verbal words, he spoke with his face and his expressions, and I think that's really
Yeah,
cool.
you knew exactly what he was feeling and exactly basically what he was thinking at any time because of the great way that he was able to act like non-verbally.
Yeah, I think he did a phenomenal job, and I think it's one of the best, character acting.
Yeah. I
I
agree.
just thought great, especially in 1987, what they had to work with.
Right.
There's no computer CGI, cool
No.
stuff.
Yeah, none of those like dots or anything that they can make it. Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing.
All right, so budget time. There was not a lot of things. This is 1987. It's kind of like Hello Again. There was only everything was
Yeah.
like the same thing over and over. It was just stupid things that I didn't, like what the cars were, like what each model of car was, what gun models they were.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to know what they are, IMDb, just go on that.
Yeah.
That's where we get all of our stuff for that. So the budget was $10 million. Opening weekend, $4,154,740. Worldwide, $49,998,613.
Nice.
So it was considered successful.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was when they were advertising, they never mentioned a Bigfoot. It said Harry and the Hendersons. There was no Bigfoot on the poster. Nobody really knew what it was about. They're just like, okay, who's Harry? And
They're
these are
like,
the
great,
Hendersons.
just another white guy hanging out with the
Yeah.
Hendersons.
Is
Like,
John Lithgow Harry? Like, does he have a lot of hair? Does
Yeah.
he need to get waxed? Like, what's happening here?
Right.
So they think that the opening weekend was because it wasn't as expected, because people did go to the movies all the time. That was like a thing to do. People would go on Christmas Day and do that. I mean, that was a thing. And there's no streaming back then, not like it is today. They
Right.
wouldn't wait for it to just come 2 months later on
Oh, just wait for it to
streaming.
go on HBO.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll wait for HBO Max in two months. There it is.
Right.
So they're like, well, nobody like across, the sea or the world or whatever, on the other side of the world,
Yeah.
didn't, in other countries is what I should say, besides the United States, didn't know how to take it. They're like, well, we're not watching this. So they had to rebrand it, and Harry was like on the poster, and it was like I think they renamed it Bigfoot and the Hendersons. So it was like literally in your face. Bigfoot, Bigfoot. So
Yeah.
that's why when you see the worldwide total after a while, then it jumped,
Yeah.
45
That
million
makes sense.
because, yeah, I mean, so then they had to kind of rebrand it to that to show like, hey, it was just terrible advertising at the time. Like,
Yeah.
who's Harry?
Right.
Is this a
Especially
serious
because
movie?
it's not like Hairy. Like I could
Yeah,
see if it was like, okay, maybe. But
yeah,
yeah, no, there literally is no clues in that title at all. So,
yeah. So let's see. Can't read my own writing. Special makeup effects artist Rick Baer, I think it is Baer, says Harry is his greatest and favorite character he created. I agree. I think it's
love it.
great. I think he
Hmm.
did a phenomenal. Wow. Uh, Kevin Peter Hall, who played Harry, this was his favorite role. I could
Obviously.
tell. Like you can tell when someone really enjoys a role how much effort they put into it,
Yeah.
and just the way you could tell that like he really put his heart and soul into this character because I really I would cry with like just his little looks like when George goes to shoot him the
Yeah.
first time with the and he sees his face and the crosshairs like
Yeah.
stuff like that and like I just was like wow he did such a great job. It was yeah. I loved it. Um like I said, all the other stuff was like the different guns, the different cars. I don't really know if there was really, I don't know if you took a gander at the fun facts, but there really wasn't too
No,
many
but
that
also
were.
a lot of it is just like, oh, you might know this actor from, so and so, but
Mm,
we kind of already talked about that.
yeah, we
So,
did kind of talk about that. Next week we're doing The Goonies.
hmm.
It is on Pluto, I believe. I think it's on Pluto for free, or what's the other
Yeah, I
one?
feel like most of the stuff that
I
we
think it's
do is on
Pluto.
Pluto or Tubi, one of
Tubi? Yeah,
those.
it's either Tubi or Pluto. It's one of the free ones. I think it's Pluto.
I haven't seen that one in a while. I'm
A
excited
lot
to
of good
rewatch
people in
that
that.
one. A lot of good
Yes,
people.
yes. So we'll be doing that. So if you could like, subscribe, on any of anything YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I think we're on other stuff that I didn't even know we were on. You don't even have to watch us if you don't, but just hitting that subscribe button really helps. I see we did have a new subscriber. We'll never put you on blast if you don't want us to, so it's quiet. We're not going to say so and so is a new subscriber. Um, but I know somebody did request Harry and Hendersons, so we did that. I hope we did it justice. Ah.
Yeah.
Thank you
Uh,
so much, guys, for joining us on this episode of Butterscotch Rewatch. We hope to catch you next time. I'm Katie, the Gen X mom.
and I'm Ireland, the Gen Z daughter. Hello, I'm buffering.
Yes. And we'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.